Oscar award winning Christopher Nolan's new movie. Everybody's probably going to go see it. The zeitgeist is going to remember this movie before any other movie on this entire poem, book, or story. It was shot in 70mm IMAX. The digital zooms look crazy. The whole effects look awesome. The practical effects look amazing. But the story itself, one of the most boring adaptations I've ever seen in a movie.
Yeah.
It was jumbled. It cut back and forth. It focused and primarily went after a story that was kind of more boring, like with the suitors and Tom Holland's character, and the performances were amazing. You had like Batman hitting on Catwoman, Batman plotting against Spider-Man, Spider-Man going to Punisher to get help with the Wakanda girl. A great Matt Damon performance, but it was more of a drama than an action. And I think a lot of people were expecting to go there and see a action film, because the actual story is they show up at a place, something horrible goes wrong, they leave the place, they try to find more food, they go to another place, something horrible happens. This is going to be one of those movies that's very, very much made towards the people who are film critics, and they will be like, oh my God, the practical effects, they used a real Viking ship. They actually went out there and they saw dolphins in the water. Awesome. But a general audience, like, who is under the age of 40, minus going there for maybe Tom Holland and MJ's character, his wife Zendaya, Athena, you're not really gonna enjoy this movie. So the Epic the Musical thing that you were talking about, apparently that's a great way to get exposed to this.
It's pretty accurate compared to like what we just saw.
Yeah. Anyways, we're putting this together, guys, today. We're gonna rank all of the characters, their performances, and then kind of go through our website. So guys, the B Tier Pod website, if you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell down below. The Odyssey, we have S tier, A tier, B tier, just good enough, C, and then the casting changes roll, which is going to be more funny for like characters who weren't casted at all.
Yeah.
Right? Like they missed a lot. Anyways, we just revamped the website because we had to make it as right. So we have like Antinius, right? Like he's the Batman. He's Robert Pattinson's character, the arrogant leader of Penelope's suitors.
This looks so good.
He intends to take Odysseus's home, throne, and family, and is spectacularly unpleasant about it. So he's the guy who kicks the dog, puts him outside.
Yeah.
Honestly, you want to hate the guy. Is Batman. It's not Christopher Nolan's Batman in a Christopher Nolan movie.
It's also Edward Cullen.
Yeah, and he's also he's planning to kill Tom Holland's character the entire movie.
Yeah, he's planning to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah. So I honestly S tier performance from Robert Pattinson.
No, I think he played his character well, and that's gonna play a different role than how we feel about the movie in this whole tier list. Because the individual people played their roles pretty well, and some of their characters actually ended up being better than what they could have been in the story.
So again, Calypso, we have problems with, they didn't even introduce her name until 2 hours in. He's like, oh, I just remembered your name. Like, I know you're trying to manipulate me and all that, but 7 years on an island, you don't know her name. It's really tough.
In the movie, like,
they don't bang in the movie either. Or Calypso, she plays Klee in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. At the very end, you might see her, but in an immortal sea nymph who shelters Odysseus on her island. Unfortunately, her version of hospitality involves refusing to let him leave. I thought it was a good performance by Calypso, but boring character all around.
Well, and for me, her character from at least the musical, I haven't read the story in a really long time, but the musical version of her, she explains how she was sent to this island herself. She's stuck there. And when he washed up on the island, she thought that he was meant to be there for her to love for the rest of their life. Like, that was her interpretation of the world. Very ignorant, very young, because all she's been is stuck there. It's like, I feel for her character, but the way it was portrayed in the movie is definitely like a B or C tier.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go B tier. Melantho, this is Mia Goth in the movie. A disloyal palace maid who sides with the suitors. She has like a love crush with Batman's character, Robert Pattinson. She treats the disguised Odysseus with contempt before learning that insulting mysterious beggars can have consequences. Again, they were talking about Zeus's law. They kept
Oh
repeating it
yeah,
over and over
I
and
forgot
over
about that.
again. It was like, do not insult random people because they might be gods in
Was that even like
disguise.
that wasn't even a thing in the book,
No,
was it?
I mean, it was maybe mentioned one time,
I
but
don't like her character, this girl,
yeah,
because what does she think was gonna happen? She's gonna have this thing with Antinous, but then he's gonna marry the queen.
Penelope, and then she's
And
gonna be the
what's
side
gonna
piece the
happen
whole
with
time.
what's gonna
Yeah.
happen with her?
So I'm gonna put her in C.
Yeah,
It's not like she needed to be recasted. It's not like she did a
she
bad job, but this is one of those movies that really suffers from way too many hired actors because there's so
yeah.
many people in the movie. You almost have to give screen time to a certain amount of them just to get your money's worth. Great example. Odysseus is second in command, right? Eurylochus. You don't even get introduced to him as a character.
You don't
Um,
even get told that they're brothers.
but yeah, and I
Like
don't even know if he was like,
maybe they did mention it one time, like you're my brother, we're supposed to do this together type thing. But they mention it a lot in the musical, and
yeah,
Odysseus brings it up in the book, like you are my brother and my second command. We should be doing we should be doing this together. You should be doing what I say.
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like it was brought up a
yeah.
I'm not saying they have to keep doing it in the movie, but they didn't even do it until like halfway through when his name was brought up.
When the mutiny started, right?
Yeah.
So like
You're my brother and you're pulling it. Is this a mutiny?
Eurylochus, like there's one scene, and this is like for the credit that is due into the actual sound mixing and whatnot. There's a scene with the wax,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that was actually a
And
really cool
it's a
scene.
really cool shot. So like, Eurylochus puts in the wax and then like everything goes silent, but you can see Odysseus who tied himself up to the hull of the ship.
You can hear his like
He's like
faint
yelling
yells.
and like you can't hear it, but the sound mixing was like amazing for that scene. It's weird to get Hamish Patel in this role. I think that was I think that's why they didn't say he was like a brother to him, because they didn't look alike at all. Like, and
Which
so I don't know if I'd put this in
then make
casting changes, but I definitely gonna put him in B tier.
yeah, I agree. In
Did the
the book
purpose of the role.
and in the musical, plays like such a bigger role in everything.
We have Polybus, Corey Hawkins in the show, and he's actually a pretty good performer. He ends up being like the right hand man to Antinous. But yeah, one of Penelope's suitors and a close associate of him. He helps occupy Odysseus' palace while competing for Penelope and the throne. He also kind of he makes you want to hate him, which is like, a good thing. He's out there,
Yeah.
kills it hurts the beggars, kicks them,
Yeah,
punches
he's the one who
them, throws
wants to
food
like
at
kill the
them.
dog, but then Robert Pattinson's like, we'll just put him outside.
Yeah, and the dog does wait for his owner to come back before he
Yes.
dies. But it's
Which is how
kind of
they
a
said that
BT.
Telemachus figures out that it's his dad.
Yeah, father, dad. They had to use the word like 4 times.
Yeah.
Anyways, this guy, B tier baby, just kind
Yeah.
of a run of the mill like default villain.
Yeah. He's the sidekick to the villain.
It's Penelope, Anne Hathaway, Catwoman, Queen of Ithaca, and Odysseus' fiercely loyal wife. She never does break the loyalty for 20
No, she
years.
does good. She stays
Patience
behind her
and
little
clever
room.
deception. So what is it like? Her thing is she's been putting together the burial cloth for 20 years, and then she undoes it
Yeah.
at the end of the
She
night.
does it. She undoes what she did that day.
Obviously Batman catches on to Catwoman's scheme like he usually does because he's the smartest one in the room. And then
But she outsmarts him again.
well, he's like, since he's like planning Tom Holland's death,
Yeah.
the whole movie, he's like, yeah, like, we'll give the throne to Tom Holland unless we have a kid of our own. And then she gets off and she goes mad and whatever.
Yeah.
Anne Hathaway, I think she like over delivered a lot of her parts in this movie. Like I didn't really find her as good as she usually is in other movies. So like I would kind of put her at like B tier or C tier in this movie.
I'd put her in B.
B? Okay. Iolia.
Yeah.
Aioli, the really cool pasta. Not casted, right? The bag of wind's not casted.
Yeah,
Comes
I'm
from
so
this
mad about
island.
it because it's like half the reason
So
that Eurylochus
yeah,
betrays him.
casting
Like,
changes. We needed this in the movie.
yeah, we needed it.
We needed it in the movie. Okay, you guys don't even know.
Sorry.
Honorable mentions: the Trojan horse is not in the casting lineup down here,
Oh,
but
but it's S tier.
it should have been an S tier.
Yeah.
Actually, the practical effects that they used to roll that thing into the town, I guess, were pretty cool. They actually used logs to move it. They actually forced like 300 slaves to move it up. Odysseus, Matt Damon, King of Ithaca, in the film's battle-worn hero. His intelligence repeatedly saves him, although his pride creates nearly as many problems. I'm going to be honest, S-tier performance.
S-tier performance. He did really well as Odysseus.
Cannot be mad at the actual screenwriting. One thing I will say is they just completely skipped the one trick part that the bard introduces with the Otis name, the nobody.
Yeah, I'm mad about that because that was a big thing
and we'll
too.
probably mention it a little bit more when we get to that character.
Yes,
Menelaus. Good. John Brunthal, really good at playing himself. The Punisher, honestly, he has like really good like dad energy, where he's just like, yeah, like I'm gonna help Spider-Man out with all of this problem.
Well,
and he's probably
he
gonna do a really
did,
good
too.
job in the Spider-Man movie that comes out. Brother of Agamemnon and husband of Helen, he provides Telemachus with crucial information concerning Odysseus' fate. He's the one that also tells the entire tale of the story of Troy, or like the fall of Troy.
At like
hour 1.5 at this point. I don't even know. Like the runtime on this, because of the Christopher Nolan.
3 times.
Yeah, we saw the tale of that 4 different times throughout the movie
in 4 different perspectives, because you also saw it from Elliot Page's perspective. Yeah, he's an A.
Yeah, it's John Brunthal playing John Brunthal. It's really what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, he's good at playing himself.
Sinan, the made-up character that wasn't even in the book. Won't get to that.
Confused.
It is Robert Pattinson's younger brother, who couldn't go. I guess he couldn't get drafted into the war, or he came back from the war.
I like how it's holding the Trojan horse.
Well, because they die like in front of the Trojan horse. A Greek soldier connected to the Trojan horse operation. Nolan expands him into an important figure. I mean, Sinan has like multiple appearances. This is again one of those faults where it's like you paid too many good actors. You had to get them screen time. It was not about. It shouldn't have been about Sinan. Not fault to Elliot Page, but I think
the role really well.
I think we needed a casting change.
I don't think the character needed to be. Every
also,
time I saw...
thinking that you're that important in a war like that's been going on for 12 years or whatever, like no. I'm sorry.
Every time I see
Elliot
Page, I just see Beyond Two Souls.
Zeus, no information added yet because he wasn't in the movie. We need a casting change.
Yeah, he needed to be in the movie. He was the main villain, and you don't even ever see him.
Athena, Zendaya, goddess of wisdom and warfare. She acts as if Odysseus and telekinesis, his divine protectors, were important at all, because she wasn't really shown in the proper spots.
Yeah.
Occasionally gives their plans a supernatural push.
And she ain't in this outfit the entire time. She's not in her armor.
That's what you were mad about. Fine, that's cool. I'm gonna give her like a B tier performance though. Aphrodite, just not casted either.
Just not casted.
Like what? No Aphrodite. That's fine. Whatever. It's one of Homer's gods. Doesn't really matter. Represented as a gigantic living whirlpool, much more than just a natural phenomenon. The whirlpool appears to be a huge abysmal mouth with swirling waters. So this thing in the film was like, this is Poseidon's rage. Well,
they put it right in reality, next to the other one.
Yeah, they put him right next door, and you can see the entire whirlpool like on camera. So I just can't imagine it being that big. They could have probably found a way to go around it. It would have been cool to do like a At World's End type of thing, like Pirates of the Caribbean whirlpool style. Like they could have done like a little bit with it. I'm gonna put it in C.
Oh my gosh, that's such a fair point.
Swineherd and servant. He's the guy who welcomes him in when he's disguised, when he comes back to Ithaca.
Story.
Unrememberable. That's fine.
Like I remember him in the movie, but not the book.
Tom Holland. Telekinetic. Telemachus. Odysseus and Penelope's son. Young prince searches for his missing father while trying to protect Ithaca. I think they focused a lot on Tom Holland again at the fault of the story and how linear storytelling is told on movies. And again, general audiences, I don't know how they're going to get the back and forth so much. Um, for what it's worth, I think Tom Holland put on some pretty good perform. Like
Yeah,
he
no,
he showed up.
he did really
Some of
well.
his lines were kind of undelivered, but
I'm just mad that
overall,
there wasn't like a lot of his actual character building
yeah,
was him talking to Athena, and he doesn't talk to her once
yeah.
in the movie.
So
But for what he was given to play, I think it was A or S at
I
least.
think I'm gonna say B. So
Oh.
maybe we go A
Yeah,
if you're
you can
gonna
do
say
A.
S. Anyways, this is the Wakandan chick that we just saw Wakanda Forever. Guys, we're rewatch. This is gonna be fun for
Yeah.
later, but we're gonna rewatch all of the Marvel movies. We have an entire
Clytemnestra?
checklist, and then we're gonna go through that at the end of the year before Doomsday or Doomsday, whatever you want to call it now, because Dune also comes out. But has spent the war years developing some extremely strong feelings about her husband's return. She ended up killing Agamemnon because Agamemnon like sacrificed his child for like victories.
Yeah.
Very loosely, they go over that for like 2 minutes. I was on my 30-minute smoke break by that point. I think you had like just gone to the bathroom, so I came back into this. So whatever, it is what it is. I'm gonna say B tier.
Okay.
This one doesn't even fit on screen. We're not even going to try. These are the cannibalistic warriors that led by King Aphetes or Antiphus, which I don't think you get anything at all, who attack Odysseus and his crew shortly after they encounter like the Cyclops.
Which didn't actually happen at that point in time in the movie.
But
oh my God,
they lose
did.
like 2 ships here or something, I think.
Yeah.
But anyways, it's like they get there.
Which is not what happened.
They show up and it's like it's like a girl screaming in the woods or whatever, and they're like, what's going on? Like where are your parents? And then these guys come out with like the silver armor, pretty funny moment, and then they're all like, run! Yeah, and it was like straight out of Monty Python's Holy Grail.
Run into
I would put him in S tier just for that alone. Agamemnon, Benny, and I don't even think you get Benny Southeye in the film much. He's just taller than Odysseus, so everybody's like, okay. Millennius's brother, commander of the Greek forces at Troy, his disastrous homecoming serves as a warning for Odysseus later, which Sinon and him talk to him in Hades, whatever. I would say just like because of the armor is cool that he uses, he gets like the black armor, and it's gonna end up being like probably the movie poster.
But like you said earlier, that's not what he wore. Well, again, that wouldn't have happened.
Yeah, this is gonna be one of those things that really throw people off for like how they remember how this is like done. So like when new teenagers go to like read the book in 9th grade and like their literature teacher's lazy that day and has a substitute and they just throw on like this movie, that's what people are going to remember, and like none of that would have happened. So
no.
I'm gonna say B tier, just average, whatever, good enough. He got the job done. Melanthius, this is the treacherous servant who supports the suitors against Odysseus. Melantho's brother, we can probably just put him in B tier. We're running out of time here. You know what I mean? We're running out of time. Helen of Troy, played by the same person. It's Lupita.
Yeah.
Lupita.
She played her own twin.
She played it herself, and then the only way they like changed it was that she had scars that it almost implied that John Bernthal beat the shit out of her.
Yeah.
I don't know, like whatever. His wife though, and the woman whose departure from Troy helped ignite the Trojan War. Again, the face of 1,000 ships. It's kind of like what the whole thing is. Yeah. Alongside her sister through a dual performance. It's just weird that no one did it that way. Casting changes, maybe.
Yeah. Because it's played by the same character.
Yeah, I think you could have split that up. Cilia, although not visible on the screen, is shown to have a massive body anchored into the cliff. 6 long serpent head next. Kind of looks like Medusa here. But
Scylla is like so much more important than they put her as in the movie.
Things it's like you really either go like all the way in on it or you don't do it that way.
Right.
I would put C tier.
I like the villain.
Okay.
In general. But you can put it in C.
Just good enough.
No, you can put it in C.
Just okay.
Yeah.
You
Since
guys,
we're basing
you guys
most of
can
it on the
rank.
movie.
You can rank yourself if you really want to. You can go watch
Yeah, you
the
could go do
Odyssey
this.
and come here on the website, the BTR podcast website, and you can actually click the Odyssey on the drop down, and then you can do it yourself. If you guys don't agree with us, whatever. And was the Cyclops character, the enormous one-eyed Cyclops who traps Odysseus' crew in the cave. Okay, we talked about this before we went live and another time. They chat with this dude for like a week or two.
Yeah.
They're like trapped in the caves, drinking wine. He's a cheese maker in the movie, which is really funny. He just wants to make cheese.
Right.
And these guys come into the cave, and then they're like they get trapped or whatever, and he has to be the one to let them out.
Right. Because he moves the rock.
We'll say it again. Otis, the one trick is not played at all, even though the bard
No.
talks about it. Anything you get out of it is like it was Poseidon's son. So Poseidon's
And
gonna
you didn't
hate
even
you.
get that from in the cave. It was when they got back to the boat.
One of the-
Eurylochus sitting on the floor of
One
the
of
boat
the crew
says,
members like randomly points it out.
I thought it was Eurylochus, and he said, "You know who that who that just was? That was Poseidon's son."
Tier.
Okay.
The bard, Travis Scott, a performing storyteller who carries the epic through music and spoken verse.
Yeah, that's what he did.
Yeah, the whole time.
You'd hear,
You
he'd
just
say
hear
a couple
Queen
words. Yeah.
playing in the background. It was funny because like Phil, when he was here, he was like, "Yeah, that should have been Snoop Dogg." I was like, "Okay, so maybe casting changes." But yeah, Travis Scott, you know, for even after killing those people at the festival, still landing roles. Good for him, you know, it's awesome. I would say casting changes though too.
Yeah.
Or like at least don't
or
do
his
slam.
character needs to be.
Don't do slam poetry,
Yeah.
Christopher Nolan. What are you doing right now,
Slam
buddy?
poetry was crazy. I was so confused.
Cersei, Samantha Morton in the show, a powerful sorceress encountered by Odysseus and his crew. She is best known for transforming the unwanted guests into pigs, making her a fun podcast host. Most gross thing in the whole movie probably is that scene where
Coolest
she is
scene to me.
morphing people with her eyes and like in
She's
the
like
mouth.
putting
and
her
like,
hands in their nose
almost-
and like their mouth and pulling
it
it
almost looks like
forward.
the Deadpool and Wolverine chick who like goes through the eye holes.
Yeah.
But she's like morphing them like as they're
It was-
eating disgustingly.
That was probably the coolest scene.
Yeah, and then like when she tells them to drop the disguises as a spell, which is really funny because it's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
all men are pigs, right?
Yeah.
That's what Christopher Nolan's getting at. That's like what
She's like, you can put your disguises back on, and she had to go up to every single one of them and say that to turn them back into humans.
S tier for the moment. James Remire, great performer. The blind prophet whom Odysseus encounters in the underworld. He warns the king about the dangers ahead. So he's like the guy who he had to like sacrifice blood to get to, or whatever. I don't know. I think it was great, but it just we missed.
He wasn't really there.
We missed a crucial part because of this guy.
Well, yeah, he didn't even. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm hearing B tier.
Yeah.
Okay. Poseidon. Controller of the sea should have been in the movie.
Yeah,
I think it would have been cool to cast because you know we could have gotten like a whole like
he talks to him a handful of times. We
like-
could have had Thor play Poseidon.
yeah
They needed one more superhero.
one more superhero. That's what they could have done. Anyways, guys, this is like the Odyssey. I would say it's ranked by like chaotic monsters, crew members, and Christopher Nolan's movie.
Yeah.
Kind of a smorgasbord of everything again, just like he casted all the superheroes. I would say that like overall can't recommend going to this movie if it's not an IMAX, and that's probably where I put it. And that's probably like
I can't recommend to not see the movie, but I can't recommend to pay to see the movie.
If you're a really big fan of dramas, maybe
with random like gory pieces. I guess not gory, but like
practical effects.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's a good story. Not a good movie.
Could have been better. Yeah.
Good story, not good movie.
Be to your pod though. If you haven't already, click that subscribe button, click that notification bell down below. I don't know how long this video is going to come out to. I don't know how long we just talked.